Hi muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today and spending even a little portion of your day with me. I really appreciate it. One thing I want to say, keeping it very brief before we start this video, American Red Bull, this is not sponsored, clearly, is a lot stronger than the one that we have out here out there in Europe. And I'm just wondering, is there something different, I assume, with like the sugar levels or different ingredients or something like that? Because the Red Bull out here, you know, it kind of wakes me up. And then the one back home is just kind of like a nice little drink for me because I'm so used to it. So I'm wondering if anyone knows about the different ingredients and whether they're stronger here or whatever. I actually have my final sip of it. Great. And then the last thing I want to know is I recently found out I was out at dinner with my friends and my mom. And two of them are American, and they let us know that American sun cream is completely different. Sorry, this is so off topic. I'll keep it until 20 seconds. I'll do this really quickly. Apparently, American sun cream is a lot more different than the one in Europe because only a certain amount of ingredients are allowed in the States than is allowed in Europe. And I'm just wondering, for my Americans out there, or people who just know this fact, what is different about the sun cream in the United States that is different than the one that we have in the UK? Okay, on with the video. So, yes, do you like Destiny? It's super camp, super hideous, love it. So yesterday I posted a video and I was talking finally about the fact that Jeff Wittek is suing David Dobrik. Now, I was not expecting the muckers to be as involved in this case as what you were. I was briefly reading through the comments and I went, hold on. I need to continue this on a video tomorrow because so many of you have like so many great takes and so many great opinions on this that if you watched my one yesterday, you're in for a treat today because we're going to be continuing the conversation and getting a lot of what your input is, which is exactly what I used to do whenever I first started making drama videos over 2 years ago now. It's actually my 2-year anniversary of being a drama channel, woo! And I used to make a video on something and then make a video going through it again, giving more deep opinions that I have than the first one where, you know, I was just explaining it. And then I would also go through what my audience's opinions are on it and kind of like critique or agree with what you have to say, you know, being respectful to everyone's opinions here. But yeah, we're gonna do that today. So I felt that it was necessary that if you haven't seen my first video or maybe you just want to recap, I'm not going to go through the entire lawsuit again, but what I am going to do is briefly let you know that in the main court documents, this is what it says. So Jeff Wittek is suing David Dobrik for $10 million because of the excavator stunt that we all saw in which David Dobrik was swinging Jeff Wittek around on it and then stopped it, came to a halt, Jeff Wittek slapped off the back. The city ambience here is so beautiful. It's like Mariah's whistle tones. No, but seriously, I hope they're all doing well. But yeah. It's giving Mariah. But yeah, I hope everyone's safe, hope everyone's doing well. I always was taught whenever I was a child to... I was always taught to bless myself whenever an ambulance goes by to send well to the person, so I'm doing that. So the muckers and I are sending our best to whatever that is. I don't even know if that's a fire truck or ambulance or whatever. But anyway, so the main court documents are basically saying the following, and then we're gonna get to all of the deep opinions. So it says, David Dobrik as an individual and on behalf of David Dobrik the company. So there is a lot of David Dobrik as an individual and David Dobrik LLC. So Jeff Wittek is suing David's company as like a whole, and also Dirt Gear Company, who were the ones that rented David the excavator. Now to save time, I'm just gonna say David Dobrik and the company, and then David Dobrik's company. So David Dobrik's company were leased an excavator from Dirt Gear, and he was provided no training or instruction on how to use the excavator. So then it goes on, I'm really just paraphrasing this, going through this very quickly. After that, whenever David Dobrik was not known of the safety features of the excavator, he then took the said excavator to Utah Lake, in Utah, and then in the weeks prior, David Dobrik and his company had planned his social media comeback and had, you know, got the help of fellow different independent creators who were the Vlog Squad, including Jeff Wittek, to be a part of it. The plan was to have David Dobrik's company, drive the excavator and swing it around and swing a lot of different things off of it, including wakeboards, etc. However, David Dobrik's company, and Jeff Wittek began then doing very unsafe things in which people would be flung around on it instead of like wakeboards and just like objects. And now, I'll go on and then give some more opinions. It said basically that David Dobrik did not know how to use it, he did not know how to slow it down, he did not know how to properly use it, which meant that whenever he had Jeff Wittek swinging around on it, he didn't know how to, which is unsafe in general, he didn't know how to slow it down because he wasn't trained by Dirt Gear, the company, which then made David stop it, came to a halt because he didn't know how to use it. Jeff came crashing down into the lake. So that's basically what this says. Now, I'm going to get to the comments and read through these, and I'm either going to agree or disagree. I'm going to let you know. So Junkie Sama says, I don't even know how people could be against Jeff with this lawsuit. Like him or not, and regardless of rather he signed up to the stunt, David was operating the machine, which is exactly what I agree with. I said this, where it's basically, yes, Jeff Wittek agreed. David Dobrik, from my knowledge, didn't be like, Jeff, you get up there and you do this now. Jeff Wittek, you know, agreed to do this stunt because, again, in the Vlog Squad, I feel like it's important to know the workplace here, which is if you do the most extreme things, you get the most vlog time, screen time, and then you will get more followers in return, so it's worth your benefit to be doing the most extreme thing. So Jeff and David worked together to do this stunt where, you know, he'd be swinging around on it. So Jeff did agree to do it. However, David Dobrik was not trained and shouldn't have been the one doing that. And David Dobrik not doing health and safety and hazard and knowing how to use it. David Dobrik, in my opinion, is at fault here more than Jeff, who signed up to do this, because David Dobrik was the one operating the machinery. And he could have said, as the producer of the YouTube videos, stop, this is not safe and we're not going to do it. But he didn't do that because he wanted the most extreme stunt for his YouTube videos so that it was the most exciting thing for a viewer to watch. Whew. If Jeff had been, David would be classed as someone who ended someone's life, regardless of his intent. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But Jeff was, you know, gravely injured due to David's extreme stupidity and greed. The only thing I blame Jeff for with this is that he should have sued David way earlier on. And I saw a lot of people saying that, but I think it's important to note that Jeff had a lot of brain damage because of this. So that also affects when he was probably able to rationally think about a lawsuit, rationally think about the stunt, what happened, the injuries. So I actually don't blame Jeff. I want to know your opinion on this for the fact that he sued him almost like a year later. I actually don't think it's an issue because a lot of his injuries were to do with his head and brain. But you may disagree with me. The only thing I blame Jeff for is that. So I agree Jeff should win, and I want David Dobrik deplatformed. Someone said, honestly, well, Ren is a bird said, honestly, I'm glad that Jeff did decide to sue. Maybe then people will start to understand that you can't just do stupid shit on the internet for clout and hurt your friends for clout and have no real consequences ever. Miranda Miller said, I have the bad feeling David is going to want to settle this out of court because he doesn't want to tarnish his good name with all of this bad press, which definitely at a bare minimum it is. When we're past the point, we already know that he's a spineless, soulless human. I seriously hope Jeff doesn't let up and actually does go to court with this and brings all of those records and receipts to bury David Dobrik and his career. Andy said, I think saying the word claim is almost like saying allegedly. So I made a point in my video that I was pissed that the court documents say that Jeff Wittek claims that David Dobrik nearly ended his life. Jeff Wittek claims that David Dobrik swung him around in an unsafe manner. And I was like, why are we saying claimed whenever we have videos of it? Jeff went through the surgeries. Like, it happened. It literally happened. However, Andy's letting me know that saying claim is like saying allegedly, so covering their butts, like Andy said. I hope Jeff can get a good bit of money from this lawsuit. So he's suing for 10 million. I would assume if he doesn't get the 10 million, 5 million he would probably get, I don't know. David is definitely legally liable, at least in part, and Jeff's injuries were severe and life-altering. I'm interested to see how much he gets and whether it goes to court or whether they will just settle. So in the best interest of David, I agree that he's going to want to settle this. So it's just how much money Jeff is willing to settle for, because David will want to do a settlement payment. And also, if this goes to court, I want to know if anyone out there knows this, but would YouTube be involved in this lawsuit because this was a video for YouTube that was then posted on YouTube, or is that irrelevant to the point? Because you can look at it like, yeah, this was a video for YouTube, David's a YouTuber, he's, you know, part of their company, but like, you could also argue that who knows that he wasn't making a documentary for Netflix, or making, you know, a show for Hulu, or filming a TikTok, so then you could pull all them social media. Okay, maybe the more I think of it, YouTube aren't involved. Erica said, so intentional tort doesn't mean that David intended to hurt Jeff. It just means he intentionally took action operating the excavator for the sake of content that resulted in injury. I'm no lawyer. Me too, babe. But I think Jeff has a pretty solid case. It seems like David didn't have anyone sign any waivers, but if he did, I'm not sure why we haven't heard about them. It seems that all of the points where it's like, Jeff agreed to do it, or David said this, it's like over text messages, and it's like, these are serious stunts, if we're just gonna say it like that the fact that there wasn't paperwork, I believe that David is responsible for that in an extreme way. It should be interesting to see how this plays out. I haven't supported any of the Vlog Squad members for a while, but I do feel for Jeff in this situation because this is a very traumatic experience, and David wanted to giggle and hope Jeff didn't realize how serious it really was. David clearly wasn't too traumatized by it because he continued then traveling around the world and made a TV show while Jeff underwent multiple life-altering surgeries. And that's a great point. He filmed his show, I'm pretty sure, after Jeff was getting all of his surgeries. So David's business wasn't affected by it, but Jeff's was. And that's what Jeff can sue for. The fact that David did this to him, David got to continue his career like normal, got to continue making money, while Jeff couldn't even sit in front of a camera, couldn't collect his thoughts because he was going through surgeries, and he also had incredible head damage and brain damage. Alright, Lack said, I will never understand how people can say that this is Jeff Wittek's fault. It doesn't matter if he chose to get on the excavator. David and his team, I'm pretty sure is just David and Natalie, which is, again, an issue. They were very aware of the risk that these stunts come with, and I genuinely believe that too, and the reason they were doing it was because it was so shocking and so daring, which is dangerous. David has gone through these years riding on the hope that nothing will be taken serious, like this incident. This is why waivers exist. This is why forms are signed saying something along the lines of, I understand that participating in this activity is posing possible risk to myself. By signing this, I am getting responsibility for any injuries. I will take it upon myself, and I'm not going to put that on any other parties. And this is a great point, Lex. Thank you so much. But apparently this wasn't signed. It was just like, do you want to do this stunt over text? And Jeff was like, yeah, apparently. Allegedly. Seeing as nothing has been brought forward showing a form like this, signed by Jeff, I'm going to take it that David or his team didn't have any form to legally protect them, which is completely irresponsible on their part. It doesn't matter if all the people at risk are, your friends or not. It shows how immature David is, that even as a millionaire with a huge platform, he can't see the importance in taking action to protect his business, which has not been the same since this. This argument of, I keep seeing that David is just young, he didn't know any better, is the most infuriating thing. He's 25 fucking years old. He is one of the largest creators on this platform. He has a team of people who are supposed to be aiding him through his career to help him in the areas where he may be lacking in knowledge. And again, he has the money to do this, and that's on David. So I completely agree with this. And time after time, he has shown in his actions his complete disregard to the feeling and emotions of the people around him. Jeff is asking for what has been promised by David, which was, I'm pretty sure, the hospital bills being paid, which allegedly were not paid. I hope this makes David realize you can't weasel your way out of every problem that you literally cause. And you may, be able to manipulate your audience of children with the bullshit you do, but you can't manipulate the court and legal system. Alright, so Kitty said, they're both pieces of crap. Straight and to the point. Jeff is the victim though in this situation, and David should have never been trusted alone with such dangerous equipment. All that David had to do was pay for the hospital bills that he caused, but he couldn't even do that. And here's the thing. Jeff said that the main reason that he was suing, from my knowledge, was that he just didn't get his hospital bills paid for, which David said he was going to do. So David could have, in theory, from what I'm understanding, completely avoided this lawsuit by just doing what he promised, which was paying the hospital bills. Alright. He couldn't even do that. Jeff should have sued David sooner though. So Georgia said, claims? So in the court documents, like I said, it's like, Jeff claims this. He almost D-worded. That's the statement that the doctors made, not him. I do not like Jeff at all, but damn, I feel so sorry for him. He seriously was at the door of, you know what I mean? And they're saying that he just got hurt? Like that happened. It's a fact, it's not a claim. Alright, Maddie said, like you... Ooh, go for it. Alright, this is what I'm gonna read for the last one. So Maddie said, like you said, I'm not the biggest Jeff fan, but at the end of the day, David's actions resulted in serious, life-threatening injuries. Jeff, in my opinion, has every right to sue. He didn't sign up to be severely injured. Yes, I believe he understood the risks of the stunt, you know, him mentioning being off of a skydiving high. I've skydived, and you know, I understand, you know, the high that you get from it, but he didn't sign up for that to get hurt. The whole apology after the Dom underage drinking about him wanting to get a HR team to make people, aka his friends, aka unpaid employees, feel more comfortable. Shouldn't you be in an established, you know, position with a team? Which is a great point. And I was a David stan back in the day, but after Frenemies, yeah, let me give some credit where credit is due, I couldn't look at his vlogs the same way as I did once before. Because of the situation with Dom, I saw what it truly was. So I feel like my criticism comes from a valid place, and I agree. I liked David back in the day, and a lot of people pride themselves on the whole, I never watched David Dobrik. Good for you, but if anyone else has seen the deep dives of him and the vlog squad, anyone can see that he was manipulating a younger audience by the constant laughter, making the viewer think that everything's okay because everyone is laughing, until behind the scenes came out, and we've aged and we're able to look back on it and be like, wow, he really made us think that this was okay. Like I said, I just can't look at him the same anymore, and I'm sure a lot of past fans agree. And here's my thing. I genuinely believe that Jeff is going to win this lawsuit, in my opinion, in some way. I do believe, however, that David Dobrik is smart enough to settle this out of court, because if this goes to court and goes to a jury, in my opinion, David Dobrik's going to lose this, in my opinion. So it'll be David being like, okay, you want 10 million, what about 4 million? Jeff, no. 5 million, no. 5.5, no. Well, 6 million's all I can do, and Jeff's like, give me 8 million, and then David, 7 million. Then Jeff will be like, 7.5 million. And then they'll be like, agreed. That's how I see, personally, this playing out, but I want to know your opinion on it. Thank you so much to everyone I read out, and thank you so much to everyone else who commented. Mockers, let me know your opinion. I love you, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one, and bye.